Alright, much brew about nothing time. Playing some horrible hands.deck. Enduring Ideal in Modern. Now, this hand's not good, especially, but it is not that last hand, which was about as bad as it gets, so we'll keep it. We get a Scry, and Scrying is good. Plains to the bottom. Opponent also goes to 6, also Scries to the bottom. Plains go. There's an island for our opponent. Well, Flagstones and Greater Oromancy. Ship the turn. Basic Island. Could be Merfolk. Although... Oh, okay. Some sort of Jeskai deck. Young Pyromancer. Well, good news is Ghostly Prison. Pretty good against Young Pyromancer. So, Plains and Ghostly Prison. Pass the turn. So, basically, Ghostly Prison just outdoes anything our opponent can do with with Young Pyromancer. Because they got to pay 2 for each creature. So, making 1/1s and paying 2 to get in 1 damage just typically isn't worth it. Well, our opponent's going to make some tokens, whether they're good or not. The main problem here is we don't really have much action. We can play Phyrexian Unlife, but that's not going to be relevant for quite a while. Well, opponent has lots of tokens. I guess I can just start spending all their mana to attack. And that's assuming we don't draw another Ghostly Prison. So we are going to need action. Or at least more lock pieces. Path is fine. Let's just Plains and Phyrexian Unlife. Pass the turn. Scalding Tarn, opponent cracks it. Opponent plays a land. Metamorphose. Well, our opponent's making lots of tokens. I still don't know if that's going to matter. And a Bedlam Reveler. Jeez. Hand's that bad? Double Noxious Revival, Young Pyromancer. There's a sleight of hand. Oh, this might be a... Pyromancer Ascension deck? Action? Or Plains? Well, play a Plains, pass the turn. Huh. Well, this feels pretty bad. I don't know if this deck is fizzle prone, but it kind of feels like we're just not doing anything. There's a Pyromancer's Ascension, which probably means we're about dead. Serum Visions gets a counter on Pyromancer's Ascension. So I guess we're going to need to draw Leyline of Sanctity off the top. I think that's our only realistic out. I guess like a Oblivion Ring could help. Untap land for our opponent, down to 13. Goes to combat. Attacks with Bedlam Reveler. Well, we might as well path it. We're pretty much to draw something or die. And I think it's something that gets rid of Pyromancer's Ascension. Or a Leyline of Sanctity, maybe? And I'm not even sure Leyline does it, if they can just cantrip off. So, but we gotta draw something right here. Oh god. I mean, we can play the nodes. It doesn't... I mean, it eats away at the tokens slowly, but that's not gonna save us. So, I'm assuming this is where we die. Sleight of Hand turns on Pyromancer's Ascension. We do have some sideboard cards, which should help. Are we dead? Probes, draws extra cards. Probably am just going to scoop here. Like, there's some tiny chance our opponent fizzles. Yeah, alright. I don't think the odds of our opponent fizzling are very high, and even if they do fizzle, I don't think it wins us the game. Yeah, we were going to draw nothing for... Wow. Nykthoses and Rune Halos forever. Oblivion Ring comes in. I guess Beseju can come in. Rule of Awe is reasonable. Rest in Peace is very good. And if we have room, I guess Story Circle. Our opponent does have a decent amount of creatures. Not sure about Nodes. Nodes feels pretty bad. We probably do want Path and Prisons, though. I'm not sure Runed Halo really does much of anything. that gets in Story Circle. I guess we might as well bring in Defense Grids. And I guess Sanctimony? Or a Defense Grid. I guess Halo can name like Lightning Bolt, but they have Boros Charms and probably not worth it. Let's try it. Prison Term is also pretty bad. I guess we can leave in a Ruined Halo. Or maybe just other Greater Ormancy is better. Probably something like this. Alright, let's try it like that. Alright, we get to play first. Well? I guess this could get us to an Enduring Ideal, which wins us the game. Hand's not great by any means, but it could be functional. So let's Besiege you, pass the turn. We gotta hope our opponent's on fetch lands, maybe, for this suppression field. Steam Vents. Untapped. And Sleight of Hand. And opponent passes. Well, Plains and Suppression Field. Lack of white mana is going to be problematic as well. Also, we're taking 2 damage whenever we cast a spell from this Besiege. Drawing multiple Nykthoses is pretty painful. Well, that's good. Slowing our opponent down. Can't crack their Scalding Tarn. Probes down to 16. Trying to crack the Scalding Tarn. Learning life lessons about Suppression Field. Decides on a cantrip. And opponent passes. Plains? Path. Well, there's a shrine. Let's shock ourselves. Play a Rule of Law. Pass the turn. Well, if we can get the Story Circle down, we're pretty close to Enduring Ideal. If we do not, we're in trouble. There's Pyromancer's Ascension for our opponent. Plains? Ghostly Prison. Well, I guess we go slowly. 1, 2, 3. Ghostly Prison. Down to 14 from this horrible Besiege. No Rest in Peace, so we can't really fight this Pyromancer's Ascension at the moment. 3 white enchantments, though, does mean that we can... Oh, our opponent's finding enough mana to play without cracking their Scalding Tarn. That's unfortunate. We're pretty much 2 turns away, but we're very low on life. Thanks to Besiege. Alright, opponent cracks their Scalding Tarn. Hallowed Fountain, untapped, down to 13. Manamorphose. Draws a card, makes some mana. Alright. Well, we might have a shot here. We will see. There's white mana. Painful. Painful, painful. Down to 12, which is risky. Add 3. Play Story Circle. We're going to name red. Play Mistful Plains, pass the turn. Well, this is the big turn. If our opponent can kill us here, the game is obviously over. If they can't kill us, we should be able to deal with Pyromancer's Ascension off of this Enduring Ideal next turn. Another land for our opponent. Opponent has Gitaxian Probe. That's one of the worst cards for us. Free counter, no mana counter on Pyromancer's Ascension. Increases the odds that we're dead. Opponent passes? Looks like. On our upkeep, they kill our ghost, our Rule of Law. And then cast another Manamorphose. So are they going to be able to combo kill us on our upkeep? Is that what's happening? Wow. Alright, well, looks like our opponent had exactly the cards that they needed. Well, now we basically need to top deck something. That's unfortunate. Opponent gets to kill our Story Circle, copy it, kill something else. Kind of some awkward draws. In game 1, our opponent was very creature-based, and then this game, we drew a creature removal spell, but it doesn't really help us. Wow! So our opponent's hand was... Alright, well, they just had the exact combination of cards that would let them win the game.